Hello again, Primary 2-3, Mrs. Walker here, and this is our 3D shape lesson for Wednesday the 27th of January. And our learning intention is we're sorting and describing shapes using their properties. Now this is a new word today, their properties. I wonder what you think it means when we're talking about the shape's properties. Have a wee think. Remember, you can pause this video at any time you want. So when we're talking about shapes properties, we're talking about what makes it different from other shapes. And I should have said here, were we looking last week at 2D or 3D shape? Excellent. We were looking at 3D shape last week, and you were going around your house and you were showing me all the 3D shapes you found. So let's do a very quick recap of the 3D shapes you learnt last week. Cube, well done. Sphere, well done. Cylinder, well done. Well done, a cuboid. And then you were also finding some pyramids and cones, and they were quite tricky to find around your house, but some of you found things like cornettos from your freezer, which was a very good example of a cone. So today we're sorting the shapes and we're describing them using their properties, so using what they have. So let's have a look at my tissue box here, which is our cube. Now we can describe the 3D shape using some different words here. So 3D shapes have something called faces. Not like my face. Their faces are either flat or curved. And I like to think about it, it's the one that you can put your palm on, a face. So if we were counting the faces on the cube, we've got one face, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this shape has 6 faces. Are they flat or are they curved? Well done, they're flat faces. So the cube has 6 flat faces. For example, I'm now going to look at my sphere. I can't see any flat faces. It's curved. It's got one curved face. One curved face. Let's have a look at our cylinder. What do you think about the faces here? There's a face. There's a face. Are they flat or curved? Good, they're flat. And what about this one? A curved one. So it's got 2 flat and 1 curved. So the sphere's only got curved, the cube's only got flat, but the cylinder's got 2 flat faces and a curved face. So some shapes, 3D shapes, can be made up of flat and curved shapes, faces put together. So that's one thing we can talk about when we talk about the shape's properties. We can talk about how many faces it has. Now remember, we don't talk about how many faces like this it has. Faces are the flat or curved surfaces that you can touch. Let's flip over to this side. We can also talk about a shape having an edge. Now that's like a 2D shape. We talk about having edges too. But remember, 3D shape's different because we can pick it up. So an edge is where the 2 faces join in together. So the 2 faces join together and made an edge. Edges can be quite tricky to count because there's so many of them on some shapes. So here's one edge here, one edge. There isn't 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 edges, 5 edges, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 edges on this cube. So edges are the tricky ones to count sometimes. So an edge is where 2 of the faces join together. The edge. Does a sphere have any edges? No. No places where the edges have come, no places where the faces have come together. Does the cylinder have edges? Yep, there's one edge there and one edge there. So you like to think about an edge as where you can run your finger along. For a face, it's your whole palm. The edge is the place where the faces meet. So the cylinder has 2 edges, one there and one there. What about the cuboid? That's got lots of edges as well. That's got the same amount of edges as the cube. That's got 12 edges. So what else have I got written on my tissue box? So we did the faces, flat or curved. We've done the edges, where the two faces meet. And what have I pointing to here? Good. Sometimes we call these corners, but we can use a posh word. We can call these the vertices. Or if it's one, just a vertex. So vertices is where the edges come to a point. Where the edges come to a point. Vertices. Can you say that? Vertices. And again, the cube's got lots of vertices. Shall we count them with our fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. So it's got 8 points, 8 corners where the edges come to a point. So again, that's a new word today, vertices. Does the sphere have any vertices? Nope. So this has only got one face, no vertices, no edges. Does this one have vertices? No. It does have edges, but they don't meet. They don't come together in a point. So it's got 2 edges and it's got 3 faces, but no vertices. Does our cuboid have vertices? It does, because edges come to a point. So we've got some shapes have lots of faces, some shapes don't have very many faces, some shapes have flat faces, some shapes have curved faces, and some shapes have vertices, some shapes have no vertices. So let's have a look at what you're going to do today. So here's your worksheet you're going to do today, and we're sorting shapes using their properties. So again, the properties is their faces, their edges, and their vertices. So you've got the shapes down here. The cuboid, sphere, cube, cylinder. We've talked about them today. Your pyramid and your cone. And there's a new one introduced, an ovoid. That's like an egg shape. Not quite a sphere because it's not the same all the way around, but it's a little bit, it's a stretched out sphere. And we've got a diagram here. Now we sometimes call this a Venn diagram because we've got 2 circles, but we've got a part in the middle where they overlap. Now, shapes that have just got flat faces go in that side there. Shapes that have just got curved faces go in there. But shapes that have got flat and curved faces go in the middle. So where's our sphere going? Is it going into flat, both, or curved? Yep, it's going to go in the curved section because it's just got curved faces. Our cube, flat, both, or curved? Good, that one's going to go with just flat faces. And the cylinder, has it got flat, curved, or both? It's got both, doesn't it? Because remember, it's got a flat one at each end, but one curved one. So that'll go in the middle column that says both. So you can cut out each one or draw each one in and stick them into whether they're just flat, just curved, or they've got a mixture of both flat and curved faces. So that is task 1, to sort the shapes depending on whether they've got flat or curved faces. Task 2, now remember this is a challenge, so you don't have to do it. You only have to do this if you want to challenge yourself and you think you really understand what we're doing, because it's got 3 chilies, very hot. So as I said, for this one, you might want to collect some of the objects from around your house. You may need to actually hold a cube and a sphere and a cuboid with this. So if you want to go back to the start and figure out, just remind yourself what it means for faces, edges, and vertices. And then you're going to look at each shape. So it's first of all says this 3D shape is you're going to pop the name of the shape there, and it has. So for it has, you're going to say it has so many faces, so many edges, and so many vertices. So you're going to have to count them all. Now remember, it's not just what you see in that picture. A 3D shape's got all around the outside. So that's why you maybe need to hold the shape to do this one. That's why this is such a challenge. So for the cube, again, you're going to, like me, you're going to hold your cube here. You're going to count all the faces. Now remember we said it had, do you remember how many it had? That's 6 faces, didn't it? Count all the edges and count all the vertices and pop it in the box. And you're going to do the same for a cylinder, cuboid, cone and sphere. So that's a challenge, again, if you want to challenge yourself. If not, just complete the diagram I've already shown you, but this is if you want a wee challenge. So I'm looking forward to seeing any of you do complete this, and I'm looking forward to seeing it all posted on Teams. So have fun with your shape work today. And again, what are we doing today? We're sorting and then describing the shape using their properties. So sorting them and describing them using their properties. And that word means what the shape has, if it's got edges, faces or vertices, and if they're flat or curved. Well done for great shape work today. Have fun!